Mr. Konar, Mr. Carabine, and the rest of the Spec Ed program. I'm here in episode 3. For this episode, I'm going to be telling you about my trip to Oneida. So, my first time going on this trip was in 2019. I traveled west to London, Ontario, and I stayed there for the night, then worked at a summer camp in Oneida each day. The church that I went with on this trip was Bridle Trail Baptist Church, Markham. When I went on this trip, I decided that I want to bring 2 of my friends with me on this trip again. I want to bring you, Quentin, on this trip, and I want to bring a friend of mine that does not come to our school on this trip too. His name is Kemuel Castillo. So, I'll tell you all about my trip right now. I hope you enjoy the show. This was the shirt that we had to wear on the trip. It wasn't a shirt that you had to wear, but it was one that you could wear if you wanted to. I would put it on right now, but it would be too hard for me to do that while recording this video. So in the next scenes, you'll see me wearing this shirt in a few photos. So this was the trip that organized the missions trip. It's called Bridle Trail Baptist Church. I first started coming here in July 2019. I really miss coming to this church, and I miss going on the trip that it ran. They had to cancel the trip because of COVID. And due to this caused me to have several problems at home. And Michael, I'm sorry that I was like this to you, but it was because I wanted to go back on this trip again that they were arranging. Anyways, let's go to the next part. This was the school that we slept at for the night. We stayed here every night until the end of the trip, and then at the end of the trip we would usually go out and explore more of London, Ontario. This was the school that we were supposed to be going to, but on my first year on this trip, we could not go to the school. I don't exactly know the reason why, but instead we went to another place. We came to this church to run the camp. It's called the Oneida United Church, but I can't exactly show you a proper picture of the church because there are trees in the way, and Google Maps won't let me take a street view off of this street. So yep, that's the church. So there are 2 videos to this trip. The first one was taken in 2015, and this is the video.
A whole day since I stopped, so you could hold me. This child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And there's something about the way your sun shines on my face. It's a love so true, I can never get enough of you. This feeling can't be wrong. I'm about to get my worship on. Take me away. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When trouble seems to rain on my dreams.
And this is the second video.
You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In moments you won't let go. In the questions your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the dark.
And over here are some photos of my first time on this trip. I really want to go on it a second time, and I'm thinking about also inviting my autistic uncle and probably Joseph Sarantino too. Trust me, my autistic uncle is a magician, so he will impress the kids, and Joseph Sarantino, he he is a very protective guy, so he will be able to help out in the camp. These are all of my photos. Here's one with me wearing the shirt. Like I said, I would show you a picture of me wearing the shirt. Well, here's one right now. But the photo that inspires me the most is just down here. This photo, this is the one that inspires me the most. I really enjoyed this trip and I want to go on it a second time. I just don't find it fair that that the other people on the trip got to go more than once, but I only got to go once before this pandemic. I know, sometimes this does make me angry, but I try to keep it together. Oh, and by the way, the best part was at the end when we went when we went out to play when we went out to have Chinese food and then played glow in the dark golf. The person that organized this trip was Wayne Hewen. Well, you guys should be calling him Pastor Wayne, but his full name is Wayne Hewen. Here's one picture of him. And did you also know that in 2018 and 19, he invited his daughter on the trip? This is her. So yeah, that's everything I have to show you for this trip. I mean, that's everything I had to show you about this trip. Yep, I hope this pandemic ends soon so that way I can go back on this trip, invite you, Quentin, and hopefully invite Joseph Sarantino too. So, I hope you liked this episode. Goodbye for now.